Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before you scroll past this, pause. Not because this title sounds rare, not because it claims something extraordinary, but because you are still here, out of thousands of moments, out of endless scrolling, out of constant noise. This moment stopped you, and that alone should make you reflect. Allah does not guide hearts through chance. He guides them through timing. This is not about numbers, not about being special, not about being chosen above others. It is about readiness. Most people are too busy to notice when Allah places a sign in front of them, too distracted to feel when the heart is being nudged. But some hearts pause. Some hearts feel something shift before the mind understands why. Lately you may have felt it, a heaviness that appears without warning, a quiet discomfort even when life looks fine, a feeling that something in your life is misaligned. You tried to ignore it. You stayed busy. You told yourself it would pass, but it didn't. Because divine signs do not come to entertain, they come to redirect. Allah sends signs not when life is falling apart, but when the heart is ready to change direction. And here is the truth most people miss. Signs are not always external. Sometimes the sign is the feeling itself, the restlessness, the questioning, the sudden awareness that what you're doing cannot continue the same way. That awareness is not weakness, it is mercy. If this message reached you now, understand this carefully. Allah is not trying to scare you. He is trying to wake you gently, because some doors only open when the heart is prepared, and some signs are shown only once. This may be one of them, but recognizing a sign is only the beginning. What truly matters is how you respond. And that comes next. Most people think a divine sign will arrive as a miracle they can see, something obvious, something dramatic, something impossible to deny. But Allah rarely guides hearts that way, because forced belief does not last. Only awareness does. Divine signs are subtle, because hearts must be willing to notice them, and most hearts are not. They are distracted, overstimulated, comfortable staying busy rather than aware. A heart that is always entertained cannot hear a whisper. That is why so few people recognize signs, not because Allah hides them, but because hearts are too loud to listen. Think carefully. How many times did you feel a pause inside you and immediately reached for distraction? How many moments felt meaningful until the phone buzzed? How many reminders touched your heart briefly before being buried under routine? Those were signs too. But signs are not repeated endlessly. Each ignored sign makes the next one quieter until eventually the heart stops reacting. That is why this moment matters. The fact that something inside you feels alert, the fact that you didn't scroll immediately, the fact that you are still listening. This means your heart has not gone numb. Allah responds to that, not because you are perfect, not because you are better than others, but because your heart is still responsive, still questioning, still unsettled by emptiness, still uncomfortable with misalignment. This is why divine signs often appear during calm moments, not chaos, when life slows just enough for the heart to speak. And here is the truth. The sign is not the message. The sign is your reaction to it, your attention, your pause, your awareness. That is what separates the few from the many. But recognizing a sign is not the destination. It is the test. Because the real question is not, did you notice? It is, what will you do now that you have? And that answer is revealed next. When you finally respond to a divine sign, nothing around you changes immediately. But you do. Something inside you realigns. Your heart softens. Your attention shifts. You stop rushing through life as if time is guaranteed. You begin to move with awareness. Not panic, not pressure, but purpose. Responding to a sign does not mean everything suddenly becomes clear. It means you stop pretending you didn't feel the call. Allah does not ask for perfection. He asks for honesty. Honesty about what no longer fits your soul. Honesty about what you've been avoiding. Honesty about what you already know, but keep delaying. When you respond, Allah begins to replace confusion with direction. Not all at once, not loudly, gently. Certain distractions lose their grip. Some habits feel heavier than before. Some paths no longer bring peace. That is not loss. That is protection. Allah removes attachment. Before He grants alignment, He creates space. Before He places something better. But here is the warning hidden inside mercy. Divine signs are not permanent. When ignored repeatedly, the heart adapts to silence. Not because Allah stops guiding, but because the heart stops responding. That is why this moment matters. This sign did not come to impress you. It came to invite you. An invitation to return. Before numbness settles in, you don't need to change your entire life today. You don't need dramatic action. You need one sincere response. A quiet dua, a pause before sin, a return to prayer you've delayed, a decision to stop running from awareness. Because once you respond, Allah responds with guidance, and guidance always arrives with mercy. If this message reached you, it means Allah knows your heart is still open. Do not ignore that, because hearts that answer divine signs are never left without direction. And some signs, once ignored, do not return.